Nature is an incredible thing that is often overlooked, so I have decided to make a short video on some of the very best British wildlife, including a family of tawny owls. Winter is the hardest time of year for most wildlife, when grounds are frozen and food is scarce. But as we move in spring, it starts to get easier to forage and hunt. Snowdrops start to appear, representing the early signs of spring, attracting all different kinds of bugs and insects. Vibrant green leaves start to fill the ancient forest, providing food for a variety of caterpillars, such as the green caterpillar, which can be prey to a host of species, like the blue tit. This male woodlark is singing in hope of attracting a mate into its territory. As temperatures rise, grass snakes start to appear to bathe in the warm sun, and woodpeckers look for a suitable place to raise their young. This grey squirrel is pretending to bury a nut, to trick the other thieves around that want her nut. Mission complete. A male banded damselfly has just emerged from the water and is now heating up in the warm sun until it is ready to fly. It will now be on the wing for around 3 months before heading back down to the dark and gloomy pond. Some birds, like this great spotted woodpecker, have already got young, that beg constantly for food. Great spotted woodpeckers have a varied diet from caterpillars, insects and bugs to peanuts and young birds. This grey heron is perched on the side of a slow-flowing river, patiently waiting for its victims to swim into its trap. But they will also take frogs and even birds up to the size of a coot. Sometimes juveniles will fall into dangerous places, like this willow tit, which is on the edge of rising water. If the juvenile stays there, it could get eaten by crows or small mammals like stoats and weasels, or it could die of hypothermia. But the parents will still feed it as they normally would. A nuthatch has found an old woodpecker's nest and made it its own by covering the entrance in mud so that predators can't get in. They can have up to 13 chicks, so the parents have a lot of work to do. This great tit also has young to feed, but something is not right. A chick is missing. Sadly, it has been killed. A young great tit will keep the day going for a day, but it will be back. Nature can be cruel sometimes, but everything needs food. The parents will have to go on as normal, as if nothing happened. As we head into the middle of May, tawny owl chicks start to emerge. This one is the first out of the nest, followed by the second not long after. But the youngest is still deciding if it is safe to leave the hollow of the tree. Success at last. The youngest has made it to the top of the canopy. where it will be safe from all predators. Distant blackbirds alarm the chick's appearance. The mother keeps a close eye on all three of her young, and she is not afraid to attack anything that looks like a threat. The chicks have started to vocalize to try and find each other, as well as testing out their climbing abilities in the bigger world. After a few hours, the chicks made it back together like it was in the nest. Just before the sun is about to set, the female tawny owl goes off and is ready to hunt. Her prey are also out early scavenging for nuts, seeds and berries. But what this wood mouse doesn't know is that a tawny owl is hunting a bit earlier too. Success. The chicks have spotted her with food and start to beg. She has made it and starts to rip off parts of the wood mouse to the chicks as they cannot yet devour it whole. She is cautious not to attract attention to herself or the chicks. Now that the sun has gone down, the chicks will be continued to be fed throughout the night. The sun has just risen, and the birds are singing their small hearts out, making the forest alive with all types of music. Nocturnal creatures have gone to sleep, while others are just awakening. The chicks can now eat by themselves without any help from their mother. And they are starting to get more confident and adventurous. The mother sleeps during the day, as she needs to preserve all her energy later on for feeding the chicks. As the temperature continues to rise, the chicks struggle with the heat. They also preen their feathers to take away dirt and parasites. The chicks are doing well so far, but they yet got a long way to go. The weather has changed. Rain starts flooding into the forest and is incredibly dangerous for young owls. If they absorb too much water, they could fall to the ground, where they are vulnerable to predators. Hopefully they will be able to grip tight to the tree. They made it. These owlets are fit and healthy, and I'm sure they will go on to thrive in the wild without their mother's support. I've been very lucky to video and photograph in the secret world of the owlets, and maybe next year I'll see the next generation. Thank you very much for watching.